So, hey, Rich, I'm so glad you could hang out with me today.
Yeah, glad to, Gretchen.
Yeah. So, if you were part of the 2015 cohort, the very first cohort to go through the training program, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah. And so, if you can think back to right before you started the program, what was going on in your life such that you thought that this might be the right investment for you?
So I have been an educator all my life in some form or the other, teaching in public schools, private schools, graduate school, vocational schools. But as my career was getting on, I decided I didn't want to be in the classroom any longer, but I wanted to stay within the realm of education. And I've always had a strong interest in working one-to-one. I've taught homeschooled kids before and also had a tutoring, and I do have a tutoring practice. But I wanted to transition that beyond just tutoring and get away from school or away from content, I guess, and move into the bigger picture kinds of issues.
So for those who might be a little, like, I know what you mean when you say content versus bigger issues, but for those watching who might be confused, can you explain that a bit more?
Well, content would be I'm tutoring in writing or I'm tutoring in science. Bigger picture items are related to study skills for kids that don't have good, strong study skills, kids that perhaps have learning issues that need different kinds of strategies in order to succeed in school, and those kinds of things, which it takes or the tutoring concept or this one-to-one kind of thing, a step beyond just, being able to help boost somebody's understanding of social studies or science or math or anything like that. So.
Right. And so when you, well, what was it that appealed about my program? What made you think that I was going to be able to help you? You were very charming.
To be honest with you, in some ways I felt like I could probably have created this myself. And when I need to innovate in my life, I have done that. But what I realized is that it didn't make a lot of sense to start from scratch. What I wanted was kind of the best practices approach. I wanted somebody in the field that knew, that had been doing this for a while and could give that kind of on the ground kind of understanding of what it would be like, because that to me is the best way, that's the way I learned the best. The philosophy, all that's wonderful too, but I really wanted best practices. I wanted to see what it was like before I kind of, dove headfirst into it.
Great, good. That's exactly what I designed. So I'm glad it was useful and appealing.
Well, it was a good match.
Yeah, when you started out, did you, you had some tutoring clients, but no academic coaching clients yet?
No, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, and so I want to talk about your time in the program, but first I want people to know where you are now. So it's been 1.5 years since you ended the program. Paint a picture of your business.
Yeah, I was, I actually just decided to dive into the whole thing, and I wasn't completely prepared. I figured the first semester that I would do this, I would have, I kind of thought I'd have 2 or 3 clients, which would be good for me, which would be, time to work things out, go through the systems, apply what I learned in a, kind of a smaller environment. And what it turned out with one email that I sent to, former students, former educators, people that I'd known for quite a while, but one email, I ended up getting a full caseload of students, which was 11. And that was what I considered full at the time. Actually, it was 12 at the time. And it was one of those situations where I wasn't sure I should have been accepting them, but then I thought, I'm going to take this as it comes to me. I'm going to learn regardless. And I did. And, frankly, I haven't had time to pull together some of the business things that I thought I would need and I still plan on doing it. Actually, it's allowed me to do those kind of on a slower timetable and benefit from the experience that I've gotten with the students that I've worked with. It's helped me kind of hone my focus and where I want to work and who I want to work with, which makes my marketing, which will make my marketing material much more pointed and go after the people that I really want to work with.
Yeah. A few things I want to hone in on here. The first thing, the letter that you talked about, just so people listening know, that was a letter that I helped you write as a part of our unit on marketing, correct?
That's correct. We went through several examples, and you looked at them and you gave your opinions about them, and then ultimately we came down to something, an initial marketing piece or email that we we're going to send out to, to everyone we knew, just to get the word out. And that was it.
Yeah, and I provided some templates, and then I helped you edit, and then the other people in the cohort also helped with some editing too, I think.
That's right.
Yeah. And then I also remember from you specifically because you got all those clients right away, and some of them were less than ideal for you. Yeah. And so it was really good, actually, I think, that you got those less than ideal clients while you were still in the warm embrace of the cohort and of working with me, so that I could be mentoring you through some of the challenges. Does that ring true to you?
No, absolutely. What you did willingly, which I was very pleased about, obviously. I mean, the relationship you developed with those of us in the cohort was never it was a business, but it was never purely business. I mean, you were willing to be there. We were able to email, with ideas and thoughts and things that were going on for us, and you responded, and of course I try to keep really good boundaries around that, because I don't want to take advantage of your time. I know you're busy, but that helped a lot, because I did I had some students that were difficult, and the way I looked at it, when I look back on it, I don't have any regrets of that. I mean, it's all experience. And I think I got a dose of reality very quickly, which has helped me, like I said, has helped to inform how I want to continue in the business. And it's given me those experiences right off the bat. So now when I have new students come on, I have the experience to fall back on, and I know the strategies I tried and what worked and what didn't work. So it all worked out, and certainly it was very important that I had the support of you and the cohort while I went through it.
Well, and actually I have to say, based on your experience, because you were the first year, I have now changed, the way I work in what I now call part 3, the art of rocking your biz, which is fall semester. So when I mentor people through that semester, where I now provide a couple coaching sessions, one-on-one coaching sessions with everyone in the cohort, because you got what you needed from me during the Q&A calls, but I think it would have been also even more powerful to have some one-on-one time when you had some of those crisis, what do I do?
Right. No, that's a good addition, I'd say.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I have your stamp of approval on that. So you don't have a website. I asked you that earlier, and you said you don't have one yet. And I love that you don't have one yet, because so many people think they need to get a website right away before they can be successful. Right. Is that one of those things you're still planning on doing?
Yeah, that's actually me. I would have been normally, I'm the kind of person that I want it all set up. I want to look professional. I want to come across that way to the public. And so I was in the process when I, took on these couple of clients, or what I thought would be a couple of clients. And then when it, mushroomed so much for me, I didn't have a chance to do that. I do plan on that eventually. I also like being someone that works by referral. That is a whole kind of different kind of marketing. It almost provides, I don't know how to, I don't want to negate anybody else's perspective on their own business and so forth, but it almost gives it this idea that, people often ask me, do you have a website? They just want me to, give them a website so they can get off the phone and then go check the website. But what that does, it's not always the most personal. First of all, they don't really get to know me.
Right.
They get to know what I want to put out to them. So a more important connection, I think, is that referral process where they know someone who knows somebody that has worked with me. And that has worked to my advantage right now. And like I said, I still plan on creating all the marketing media that I need, including the website. But I'm glad I've waited, just because now I am much more clear about who I want to work with and how I want to work with them and what that website's going to look like. So I think I probably would have put something up quick and it would have been fast and I would be changing it a lot. But it's worked out for me thus far, so.
And did you choose not to initially put something up because I had warned against it, because I said don't do it? Was it because of me or just your own?
No, I think it was a kind of a timing situation. I definitely wanted to get my feet wet in the business, and I thought, okay, I'll have a couple students, and while I do that, work with them, I will also be developing these marketing things. And so it was a combination of things. I mean, there were lots of options, and that's kind of one of the great things I enjoyed about your program is it wasn't a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. You were able to kind of offer ideas for each one of us and our particular situations and also personalities, really. So it worked out that I think everybody got something from the program and from your advice.
Yeah, and I think the one way that it's one size fits all, or at least has become more that way, maybe since you were in it, is I just more and more strongly believe that every person, even if they think they want to do speaking gigs and they think they want to do some of these more complex marketing, everyone needs to have a good solid basis in referral marketing before they choose some of these other more major pieces. I've been stressing that more and more.
Yeah, and I should follow up my comments by saying that again, the beauty of the program to me was that it was very concrete. There were lots of tools. There was a solid framework from which to find my own direction within. So I didn't want to get into a program that was going to leave me, and then I'm like, how do I really get this started? I never felt that at all through the program. I felt like I wouldn't have jumped into it right away had I not felt confident that I had what I needed in order to move forward. So.
Well, I think it's important for those listening to this too, to know that, at least from my perspective, this is not a program where you kind of learn everything and then think I'll act on it later. Right. It's a program where you do it now when I suggest you do it. You get my support now so that you can have the experience so that you get the support at the next level too. So it's not just in our mind, like we're taking action together as a cohort.
It's applying the concepts, yes. And that's again, the beauty of the program and was for me, and one of the things that attracted me to it, because I didn't want that theoretical, now go do it on your own. I really needed hand-holding sometimes and being a little nudged to do something that maybe was not comfortable. And it's done, it was all done within, completely nurturing kind of environment, but it was still like, no, let's do this by next week and we'll all check in with each other and how we did it. So.
Yeah. And it's a commitment of mine too. One of the reasons I want people to take action right away is because I know they're investing quite a bit of money, and I want them, like it's my huge goal to have everyone be able to not just pay themselves back if possible, but make themselves money before they've actually graduated from the program, so that they have no debt from me and they're starting to make money. And that was your experience.
Which I did in spades. Yes, I did. I had figured the 3 or 4 clients would cover those expenses, and it turned out to be 3 times that many. So 4 times.
Yeah. And not everyone, like sometimes life happens. There was someone in our program who had a significant person pass away. and so he was not able to do that, right? Life happens. But it sounds like you would agree that if you are able to follow all the steps, you really will make your investment back.
Absolutely. And that was my experience. So.
Yeah. Great. Well, what has been the hardest part, would you say, like the most challenging part of building a business as an academic life coach?
That's a good question. The most challenging part for me has probably been once I've been in the business, and facing particular challenges within a coaching situation, feeling like I would like to have additional support for that. And I've made attempts, and we've tried as a cohort to, and I have now connected with a couple of the people in my cohort where we regularly give feedback to each other. And I think that's kind of thing, because sometimes you just need to bounce something off someone else that's going through something similar and has had this similar training. So.
Yeah. And I've heard this is common from the people in the second cohort too. And so I'm also going to be providing some options soon when I have a moment, so that we can come together as a growing community regularly too.
Right.
And you're planning a local Bay Area one.
Right. And hopefully we'll get something started with all of us in a relaxed kind of way, but in a focused way as well, so that we all get to meet, or as many of us that can, we'll get to meet here in San Francisco or in the Bay Area at least this summer.
Great. Well, I know you have to run off to an enrollment conversation, which is very exciting that you're checking in with someone about whether they want to work with you. So my last quick question is, what is your schedule like? Like, do you have other part-time work right now from other places?
Yeah, my plan was actually to evolve what I had been doing in the past, which was on-site tutoring with students at a particular school, and I wanted to transition that to a full-time business coaching. And I also was teaching outside. I was teaching homeschool students as well. So I had been piecing several things together in order to make a living, but my focus was to move in the direction of full-time coaching. And it's actually happened a little bit slower than I thought, but it's been the right pace. And that's still the direction that I'm going. But someone could easily make this part of their livelihood. It doesn't have to be a full-time position, although I'm finding that it could easily become one for me. So I think there are a lot of options.
Yeah, there are. Totally. Since you don't have a website to give us, are you comfortable giving folks your email in case someone watching this thinks that they might know a perfect person to refer to you?
Sure, I would love that. My email address is richbrownalc@gmail. So that's richbrownalc, like academic life coach, at gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking some time to be with us. And now go get yourself a new client.
I hope so. Thanks so much.
All right.
Talking to you.
Bye, Rich.
Bye-bye.